Have you ever noticed how just walking through a doorway can completely change how you feel? Well, today we're going to explore this really beautiful Islamic prayer. It's called a dua. That's all about that exact moment, entering a mosque or a masjid. It turns that simple act into something really profound. Let's dig in and see how it works.
Just think about it for a second. The last time you walked into a place that felt special. Maybe it was a huge library, or a really quiet museum, or some kind of historic monument. There's always that moment, right on the threshold, where we kind of instinctively shift our mindset. We quiet our thoughts, we get ready for what's inside. So how do we actually do that? How do we make that mental shift? A lot of the time, it's a conscious thing. We take a quiet moment, we set a silent intention, and in a lot of spiritual traditions, this whole preparation is formalized. It's done through specific words or actions that create this really clear boundary between the outside world and the sacred space inside.
And that is exactly where our source material comes in. In Islam, there's this specific prayer, a dua, just for the moment you step into a mosque, a masjid. It's basically a tool that's designed to turn a physical entry into a truly spiritual arrival.
Okay, so what does this prayer actually say? Let's break this short little sentence down, because once we do, we can really start to see all the layers of meaning and the powerful mindset it's designed to create.
So in English, it translates to this: "O Allah, open the gates of your mercy for me." It sounds so simple, right? But believe me, there is a profound depth here, a whole world of meaning that's just packed into these few words.
We can actually break this plea down into three really distinct parts. First, there's the address, who you talking to. Then, the action, what are you asking for? And finally, the object, what is it that you desire? So let's take a look at each one. All right, let's dive right into the heart of this prayer. We're going to focus on its central plea and the really powerful imagery that it uses. So the prayer kicks off with Allahumma, which means, "O Allah." Right away, you can see this isn't some vague wish just sent out into the universe. No, it's a direct, personal call to the divine. It immediately establishes this relationship of humility and supplication. Next up is the action iftah li, which means open for me. Now that word open is absolutely crucial here. It's an active request. It implies that there's some kind of barrier, a door or a gate, and the person is humbly asking for access to whatever is on the other side.
So, what is on the other side of that gate? What are we asking to be opened? Well, the object of the prayer is Abwaba Rahmatik, and that translates to the gates of your mercy. Wow. Think about that. You're not just asking for mercy as some abstract idea. You're asking for the actual pathways to that mercy to be thrown wide open. It's such a powerful metaphor.
And, the archway that we see in the source image is the perfect visual for this. The physical gate you're about to walk through becomes a symbol for the spiritual gate you're asking to have opened. It just clicks.
So, at its very core, this prayer is about mercy, or rahmah. It's a plea for everything, for compassion, for forgiveness, for divine blessing, right at the moment you enter this sacred space. That's really the ultimate spiritual goal of the visit. So, when you put all three of these parts together, the direct address, the active request, and this really profound object, what you get is a combination that creates a very specific and a very powerful mindset.
This short prayer does so much in just a handful of words. Psychologically, it's like hitting a reset button. For one, it sets a clear intention for your visit. You're here to seek mercy. It also fosters humility, reminding you that you need help to open those gates. It frames the entire experience with a sense of hope, and maybe most importantly, it acts as a mental switch, helping you leave all your worldly concerns at the door and just focus on the spiritual.
And this is really why it matters. The prayer takes a simple, everyday action, just walking through a doorway, and elevates it into this moment of profound spiritual significance. The physical entrance becomes a living metaphor for a spiritual opening.
So now, when we look back at our source image, we see it with this much deeper understanding. It's not just a picture with some text anymore. It's a complete framework for entering a sacred space. It's a mindset of humility and hope, all beautifully captured in one short, powerful sentence. And that really leaves us with a final thought to ponder. While this prayer is for a very specific moment, that central idea, that metaphor, is universal, isn't it? It kind of makes you wonder, whether it's a gate to understanding, or a gate to forgiveness, or opportunity, what gates do we wish to see opened in our own lives?